This is Valerie Van Boeven with the Senior Care Industry Netcast, where leaders with 3 or more years in the senior care industry share their advice. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
I am Dr. Eboni Green, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Caregiver Support Services. We are a nonprofit organization that provides training and support for family and frontline caregivers.
Nice. And tell us, what is the best thing about serving seniors and their families? Because obviously you serve caregivers a lot.
Well, the best thing I think is being able to help someone to guide them through what may be one of the more stressful times of their life, and to help them find the highlights that are the good parts of providing care for someone they love.
Yeah, it's often hard to find those gems that are hidden when it's so stressful. But that's awesome. All right, so let's talk a little bit. We're going to switch gears a minute and talk about online marketing. I know it's challenging, it's confusing, it's ever changing for a lot of people. What has been your experience or your thoughts? Because I see you all over LinkedIn. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. And I think that it's important to have a good team, to have folks who understand marketing, and because it is very specific, and to have a good brand and an identity that you are building, and a consistent message. Those would be the things. And yes, it is very challenging. I wouldn't go it alone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Having other folks around you to kind of lead that effort is so helpful. Absolutely. All right. I would imagine that there are other successful organizations or leaders or people or folks who have done some amazing things that have been inspirations to you, or maybe mentors. Is there anybody or any organization you'd like to talk about?
I would. A person that I don't know that she knew that she was mentoring me was Sister Narita Cooney. And she was the CEO of one of the larger healthcare systems. I'm in Nebraska. And when I was writing my first book way back in 1999, she wrote the introduction and a chapter on spirituality for caregivers. And it was very early in the caregiving identity component of things. And she was just so gracious. But she was also just a great leader, a loving person, and very helpful and inspirational.
That is so nice. Somebody who wrote the foreword or the intro to your book. That is lovely. So, and so is she someone that you still know today? Is she passed on, or is she?
She passed away a few years ago. And one of the things I loved about her introduction to caregiving, the caregiving book, was that if she was going to write a list of unsung heroes and heroines, that caregivers would be at the top of her list. And that always sticks with me.
That is so true. Oh my goodness. Our family caregivers are angels, and it's amazing what a human will do for another human they love, and take care of them. So, do the best they can, really. Okay, what piece of advice would you give to senior care providers or families, or whoever you'd like to give a piece of advice to? But we usually ask senior care providers.
Well, I think senior care providers, I started my career as a CNA, and I think one of the things that we have to remind ourselves of, no matter where we are, is to fill our own cup. And that's very important, even if you are operating a care agency, if you're providing the care, if you're even receiving the care, that we need to be able to fill our cups so that we can continue to do the things we're doing.
Yep, self-care, so important. Absolutely. Okay, speaking of self-care, when you have a win in life, and that could be anything, it could be like a marriage in the family, a graduation, a new baby in the family, it could be anything, or just, you helped somebody today and your heart feels good. When you have a win, how do you like to celebrate?
I had to really think on this. One of the things that I really enjoy is the show Everyone Loves Raymond. And the granddad on there, he's always smelling in the youth. So what I say is to really breathe in those positive bits of feedback that we get, the thank you. Oftentimes in my role, I don't hear from someone right away after we've solved a problem or addressed an issue. And so when I do hear from them, to just actually sit in it for a minute and allow myself to absorb their thank you and gratitude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so good for the heart to know that you've helped someone else through a rough time or help them see a different way. So that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show, for sharing your wisdom, because that's what this is all about, is all of us who have been doing this for a while, just sharing our wisdom and our message with other people, whether they be consumers or healthcare professionals of some kind. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this. That was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I've really appreciated this opportunity.